Good morning, everyone, and thank you very much for joining us for the September edition of the Employability Webinar. Today, as you know, we as a country is being challenged by a lot of unemployability. But today we have the privilege of discussing careers in law, opportunities, trends, and skills for success. And to introduce the speaker, the facilitator for today, I have Josephine Folorunsho Gaspar, who is the program coordinator for the American Spaces Nigeria, to do the introduction. Josephine, over to you.
Good morning, everyone. This morning we have with us Adeola A. Oyinlade Esquire, Senior Partner, Adeola Oyinlade Co. Mr. Adeola Austin Oyinlade is a Senior Partner at Adeola Oyinlade Co., a full-service law firm with its head office in Lagos, Nigeria, that offers a variety of legal services to a vast range of national and foreign clients. Adeola advises a wide range of national and foreign clients and heads the firm's taxation, intellectual property, corporate, commercial, and company secretariat practice groups. He has received several national and global recognitions in his human rights work, including the 2018 International Bar Association, IBA, Human Rights Lawyer of the Year in Rome, Italy, and the 2021 American Bar Association, ABA, International Human Rights Award in Chicago, United States. Join me as we welcome Mr. Adeola Oyinlade.
Thank you very, very much, Madam Josephine Folorunsho Gaspar, for this wonderful introduction of our guest today. I've known Adeola for a long time. He's a very innovative lawyer. And today I just discovered that he was even a journalist. You know, the way he spoke, and you are going to attest to it today. I said, no, this is a radio voice. And he said, look, I did that for 30 years. So we are privileged today to have you. Thank you very much for joining us. And please take the floor and address us. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, many thanks. Thank you very much for the kind remarks about me this morning. Let me also thank Mrs. Josephine for reading out that profile. I consider it a privilege to join American Center Lagos, American Space nationwide, to speak to the constituency that I love so much. That's the constituency where we have future lawyers in making. It's my pleasure to be here this morning. And yes, I've been asked to look at the topic called careers in law, the opportunities, trends, and skills for success. So to all the listeners, the participants who are here this morning, let me say I'm delighted to be here with you because you are the future of the Nigerian legal profession. I know some of you may already be wondering if there is really a future for lawyers in Nigeria. After all, you've heard people joke, maybe occasionally, that why study law in a lawless country? Some of you may even have whispered a line to yourself after frustrating class or while reading one of those endless case reports. Because as a law student, it's expected that authority will be cited during your classes and you could be asked to go to the law library to go and read some of these reports. But let me tell you this, every time you hear someone say Nigeria is lawless, what they are really saying is that there is demand for lawyers. Where there is disorder, lawyers create order. Where there are conflicts, lawyers build bridges. Where there are gaps, lawyers fill them. And that is where your opportunity lies this morning. Roscoe Pand called lawyers social engineers because we as lawyers are meant to use law as a tool of social engineering. And this also reminds me of my lecturer of yesteryears when I was in the University of Lagos, Professor Akin Oyinlade, who happened to be a student of a leading American law professor, Law Fuller. He used to remind us, because we are used to be proud that we are grand student of Law Fuller, because Law Fuller taught our prof at Harvard University. So he came to University of Lagos to teach us. And Law Fuller called lawyers problem solvers. So when people are talking about there are problems here and there, so we are positioned to solve the problem, either for individual problem, either we are solving problem for corporate entities. We also solve problem for nations. Because that I'm speaking to you here, I'm privileged to have worked as a resource person to African Union on several issues. And I've been privileged to grace United Nations speaking platforms in several countries all over the world. So meaning that lawyers are problem solvers. Solving problem does not necessarily limit us to our community alone. We could be called upon at any point in time, nationally and globally, to solve problem. So now let's start looking at the career of law. Let's look at opportunities in law. So what are these opportunities? Because I'm happy to know that I'm speaking to law students, and that of course I want to break it down, simplify it to your understanding, so that by the time we are done with this seminar, at least we can go home and say, yes, I understand the opportunities we have, the trends and the skills, okay? I'm aware we have limited time, but I will do my best to make sure that I compress and condense everything to the best of my ability. So opportunities, there are a lot of opportunities in law. One of them, for those who have chosen to study law and who also want to practice law, after your universities, you're going to the law school, after law school, and you pass, you're called to the Nigerian bar. There is what we call litigation. There are some lawyers we call litigation lawyers. So the traditional part of becoming an advocate in court, you stand before judges and fighting for clients. Okay, so you must have read maybe some cases, or even in some of your law textbooks, references are made to top lawyers, top litigation lawyers in Nigeria. You must have heard about Hefari Williams, maybe in your constitutional law classes. You must have also heard about Chief Ganefa Oyemi of blessed memory, who happens to be a very a dynamic and wonderful litigation lawyer, also known for his gift of the gaps. This is very, very important. So litigation requires that when rights are infringed upon, you want to enforce the rights by instituting action in courts. And mind you, what lawyer will do, because individual cannot go to court and write their processes, defend their clients or defend themselves. So they will need to engage services of litigation experts who will handle this for them. So this is one area of practice of law that you have an opportunity. So if you are known, just like my amiable prof cited this morning, I said, maybe the voice. So it's possible in your law classes where you'll be making submissions, and some of your lecturers are saying, you will be very good in litigation. So this is one area that you may want to consider. If you are very good when it comes to articulating your words, then always backing your assertions with relevant authorities. Because what makes law as a profession different from other professions is the ability of a lawyer to back up his assertions with relevant authorities. You can't be doing hearsay. Hardly will you see a lawyer will say, somebody told me you are this, and you don't label that person that. No. So you must back up your assertions with relevant authority. So one aspect is litigation. And there is also what we call corporate and commercial law practice. In fact, I've just been introduced as the head of corporate and commercial practice group in our law firm, because we have different departments. For example, I mentioned litigations, we have litigation lawyers. So what they do is to draft processes, file processes, go and argue cases in courts. And we also have a department that handles corporate and commercial law. So the lawyers who draft the contracts, that keeps banks, oil companies, even startup runnings. Most of all these lawyers are known as corporate law experts. So they assist board of directors of companies. They make sure they file their annual returns. They assist them in compliance. So this practice has a wider scope. So if you are the type, maybe you don't want to go to courts, or maybe you are not that gifted when it comes to gift of the gap, you may also want to consider to be a corporate law expert. And we've had a lot of people who have thrived, who are doing very well in corporate and commercial law practice. And there's government and public service as well. So you must have heard that lawyers are working with the Nigerian police force. You have lawyers working at the Ministry of Justices across all states in Nigeria. You must have heard that there are lawyers working at the Federal Ministry of Justice. You must have heard that the EFCC is prosecuting people. You've heard that government is taking legal action against people. Police are prosecuting people. So the lawyers who are employed working in the government sector usually do this. It's only on rare occasions that some of these agencies normally outsource prosecution to private lawyers like us. You must have read, I don't want you to misunderstand me, you must have read that EFCC outsource prosecution to private lawyers. So this is also allowed. But most of those who are employed working with government agencies are known as lawyers working under government. So you hear, I'm a state counsel. So these are lawyers are working. And don't also forget that apart from the prosecution aspects that I mentioned, from drafting laws in Nigeria, policies that usually emanate from government, lawyers working in the public sector are usually behind this, the brain behind this. So to work with agencies like CBN, there are plethora of lawyers employed by CBN in different departments of this big government organizations. So we have SEC, Security Exchange Commission, we have Nigerian Data Protection Commission. So there are plethora of lawyers working in different government agencies. So if you do not want to work in the private sector as lawyer, you can as well also work in the government sector. And apart from, I've mentioned litigations, I've mentioned corporate and commercial law practice, there's also what we call ADR, alternative dispute resolutions. In fact, as undergraduate law students, you can start showing interest in becoming an arbitrator. So we talk about arbitration, we talk about mediation in alternative dispute resolution. Just of very recent, I was saying that it should not even be called alternative dispute resolution, because dispute resolution arbitration has come to stay in Nigeria. And this is what is making business booming, because businesses are trying to avoid delays of the court. So I don't want a situation whereby I'm investing millions or billions of naira in a project and we have legal issues. And in the next 20 years, we are staying in court arguing it. So people want this matter to be resolved quickly. And that's why you will see most of the contract that I imagine now from business and investment relations, it usually have what we call arbitration clause. You may also start even becoming an associate as an arbitrator by registering, even as undergraduate law students. So there are opportunities for law students to start in this area. And you may also want to consider, we have academia and research for those who love teaching and writing. I've even said one of these days, with the little word of experience that I have, I don't mind probably looking at opportunity to start teaching undergraduate law students, so that at the beginning they can start learning, they understand what the practice or what law profession is all about, and they start equipping themselves and getting themselves prepared for the task ahead. So this is one also other important areas, opportunities we have in law. And there is a new and exciting areas, entertainment law. Most of you probably listen to music, you vibe into Nigerian music. There's also area called sport law. Most of us like to watch football. Many of us even have clubs that we support when we are watching local leagues or foreign leagues over there. So we also have what we call fintech regulation. We have tech and data law. In fact, data privacy is an area, it used to be an emerging area in Nigeria, but it has come to stay. And it will interest you that our law firm is also a data protection compliance organizations. And we have lawyers in this firm who are also major into data protection. This is a new and emerging area. So we even have what we call space law. So believe me, the Afrobeat industry today probably hires more lawyers than some ministries today in Nigeria. Let's take entertainment law, for example. Lawyers barely in their 30s are today negotiating global record deals for Nigerian artists. Even in tech law, young lawyers are already advising startups raising millions of dollars in funding. Like I mentioned in arbitration, we've seen Nigerian lawyers under 35 represent clients in disputes worth billions of naira. So the truth is, law is not one road. It is a highway with many lanes. Okay. So because of the time, let me move now to the trends you should pay attention to in law practice, because law practice is actually changing. So the first thing is technology. Technology is rewriting the script. Just look at what the American space has done. So there are a lot of you in the northern part of the country. We have a lot of you in the eastern part of the country, Enugu. We have a lot of people in the western part of the country. And here I am in the office speaking to you. So we don't need to have to start transporting ourselves, the risk of having to travel, looking for accommodation before we can get to see one-on-one. So technology is rewriting the script, and the same thing applies in the legal profession. So currently in Nigeria, we have e-filing. So I may draft my processes here in the office with the team of lawyers, and we start uploading, and we are filing to court. We also have what we call virtual hearings now. On several occasions, we have some of our clients who probably base outside Nigeria and they don't need to come to Nigeria. And some of our lawyers will be in court and we get them connected and we do what we call probably our examination in chief, cross examinations, and the trial will go on without necessarily coming. So if you are not a lawyer who is attuned to technology, and you still believe in manual filings and everything, then the world is leaving you behind. So we also now, I used to say from manual to digital, and the world is even leaving digital and going to AI. So AI legal search research tools are also available out there, but you must be very careful when you are using AI, okay? Because AI feeds you with a lot and you need to filter them and make use of what applies to you. Some lawyers in Lagos today, I'm even aware that they are running what we call virtual law practices. So this is what trends you need to be very, very aware of. Then specialization in the new game. What do I mean by this? Clients don't just want a lawyer. They want, for example, fintech lawyer. You must be an expert in a particular field. You must be known to be on top of a particular practice area. Some will tell you that I have tax issues. I don't just want a lawyer. I want a tax lawyer. When people are calling us in the office, they want to know whether we have oil and gas lawyers. So you need to specialize. You can't be aviation lawyer, maritime lawyer, criminal law expert, constitutional law expert, tax law expert, space law expert, sport law, you are also there. No, it's not possible. So for me as a person, I have practice areas that I've chosen that on a daily basis with the experience, I'm even doing a lot of research to make sure that I'm on top of that thematic areas. So not necessarily I have to be everywhere. So this is important trends you need to be very careful about. I mean, to be aware of. So, and then there's also what we call compliance and regulations, because they are very growing in Nigeria. So if you are a lawyer and you don't know about compliance, regulation, and probably maybe you are a retainer lawyer to a company, and they start receiving fines in their own sector, then there are going to be a problem. So they may want to leave you and look for other lawyers who specialize in this thematic area. For example, those who are in the fintech sector, banking sector, CBN are finding your clients. And in some of your clients, NDPC is already telling them that they are breaching data. And these are not what they are doing deliberately, because they are not aware of the rules, the regulations, they don't know how to comply. So lawyers have a lot to do, because SEC are monitoring. NDPC are monitoring. Companies are now desperate for lawyers who can keep them safe, not just because I'm just the law. Okay. And here is one song Gen Z we love. So that's law and creativity. So in the entertainment and the intellectual property, content licensing, some lawyers today are negotiating music distributions deals for artists on Spotify's and Apple Music. That is law too. So because of the time, because I'm aware that it's going to be just Hannah and there will be room for a plethora of questions. So let me quickly move to skills you must build. So what do you need to succeed in the area of skills? First thing that is very important is research and writing. If you can't write well, I will tell you that you can't argue well, because what you want to argue will be in what you research and what you write. So it's very important that you must take note of research and writing. You must learn how to do a research and writing. For a lot of people, interns who come to our firm, our lawyers give them that task because we want to help them to learn the ropes. So we want them to know how to carry out legal research and how to write. So the moment, don't bother that I've not done it before. We just ask you, go and do something first and bring it. So by the time you come with what you have researched on and you're writing, then the lawyers will start attending to you. Even in the firm here, we have a lawyer stationed to always attend to, who assist all our interns when it comes to research and writing, the skills they need to know. Then another one is tech literacy. Don't say I'm not good with computers. No, because that's where the world is going now. In fact, the world is there. In 2025, that excuse is a career suicide. So if you are still telling me at this time then that, no, I don't like making use of computers, no, that is going to be a career suicide. Then another thing, apart from research and writing, tech literacy, is networking. Half of legal opportunities in Nigeria come from who knows you and what they know you can do. So you need to know how to network. Let people know what you do. Let them know your expertise and experience in your own field. But if you are the type that you always want to be to yourself, so the question is, how do people get to know about what you can do for them? Then there's what we call soft skills: communication, negotiation, resilience. These are the qualities that a lawyer needs. You will need it when a client calls you at midnight, for example, shouting over a contract clause. So there are a lot of people that will reach out to us. They want things done in their own way. Some will even say, this is the way I want it. And if that way we also contradict the rules and the law, are we going to start saying, oh, you want to break the law? So you need to communicate in a very professional way for them to understand that there are a lot of implications in the way they want things done without also embarrassing them. That a lot of people will come and we start giving you different conditions and start making demand that if you even end up doing it, it's going to put yourself in trouble and you must not do it. So how do you communicate to them? How do you use the skills, the resilience, and so on and so forth to make sure that things work? So these are the skills, part of the skills that a lawyer must know. And perhaps most importantly, adaptability. Law is no longer a slow, dusty profession. It is fast, global, digital, and very competitive. So yes, studying law in Nigeria is tough. The university strikes, the textbooks, the Latin maxims, and numerous expectations that refuse to die. But don't be discouraged. Your degree is not a cage. I always say it is the key. So the future of law is bigger than the courtroom, bigger than the wig and gown that's most of us adore when we are going to court. It is now in boardrooms, in startups, in creative industries, in global transactions. It will interest you that we will stay here. We have plethora of clients all over the world on a retainer basis, and we've not seen one-on-one in the last 4 or 5 years. So with the technology right here, we attend their meetings, we take notes because we work as the company secretaries for them, and we keep things moving successfully. So my message to you is simple. Don't wait until after call to bar to start exploring. Start now that you have opportunity. For example, volunteer. I volunteer for an international organization, and it turned out to shape my life to be what I've become today. And the experience I gathered from volunteering, that also made me to recruit law students in the University of Lagos back then. And I bought 10,000. I was inspired by what I saw, and I bought 10,000 copies of Nigerian Constitution. And I myself, with 20 young lawyers and law students, we were on the street of Lagos. We were distributing the 10,000 copies of the Constitution. University of Lagos supported us and gave us a bus. And we were not only giving it to people, we were demonstrating the relevance of constitutional provisions in their daily lives. And that gave me global recognitions, national recognitions. Media came to cover it. And I was seeing myself all over the world. And that propelled me to continue again in the human rights to empower people. And that has also helped me two-time funding support with the US consulate in Lagos, where we built Know Your Right Nigerian app, where we have lawyers responding to people with a push of button in their palms. It's a human rights empowerment app. And I took it further, leading to a situation where the World Body of Lawyers International Bar Association in Rome, Italy, gave me the Human Rights Lawyer of the Year award in 2018 in Rome. And the same thing led to the Body of Lawyers and United States American Bar Association naming me International Human Rights Laureate in 2021. So I got this just from volunteering. So most people will tell you that, oh, are they going to pay me? No, you can't start earning money when you don't have the expertise. Volunteering will give you opportunity or platform to learn and to become. In fact, most people get inspired when they are volunteering to have knowledge on how to shape their career. So apart from volunteering, make sure you go for internship. Look for top law firms. Interning. That's where you learn about the works of a law firm. And as I'm speaking now, we have interns in the office, and the practice administrator has joined, put a link. They too are also watching this. So what they've come into the office to learn is about the practice of law, so that they start preparing themselves, or they learn about different departments we have and the way we work, and it will help them. Make sure you network. Make sure you read widely. Don't limit yourself to the school curriculum. I'm not saying that you should not focus on the curriculum, but for you to be ahead of your colleagues, you must also read widely. I could recall during my holidays, during university days, the moment we finish our academic session at time, my holidays is for me to research on national and international issues. I could recall I did a lot of research on bills before the National Assembly, and I was invited to come and speak on them. I could recall I did a research when it's used to be called Millennium Development Goals, and I wrote to the UN Secretary General there, Mr. Ban Ki-moon. Mr. Ban Ki-moon also wrote me and commended me for my good work, and that inspired me to continue to do more. So if I tell you that I grace UN speaking platform today, it's as a result of reading widely, because if it's about the constitutional law in Nigeria, I will not be speaking about international law related matters. Okay, so it's also very good to read widely. Then build skills beyond your curriculum. So this is very, very important. Because I've been told that first 30 minutes is meant for engaging with you, and allow the remaining 30 minutes for questions. I will just say, remember, Nigeria may be full of challenges, but challenges are what creates demand for lawyers. And you sitting here listening to me today, you are the supply. Thank you so much for taking time to listening to me. I'm ready to respond to all your questions.
Let's put hands together for the speaker. Oh my God. How I wish you probably should continue, but because of time, now we have opportunity to throw in our questions. Let me check. Do we have questions, please? Let's raise our hands, virtual hands, and then we'll take you one by one. Please, let's go ahead and check. Please, can you help me check whether we have any link? Anybody with any question? Nobody. or not yet? Okay. Oni Cynthia said, how does one handle pressure as a lawyer? I can also see two participants raise their hand from Enugu, from Eduguri, from Benin City. I know they will raise their hand. So let's start with how does one handle pressure from Cynthia?
Okay, Cynthia, you know I'm a lawyer, so lawyers are people of letters. So if you say pressure, I want to know what kind of pressures are you talking about here? Is it pressure of work, or is it pressure to compromise? Because I will have to tell you this because there are a lot of compromises here and there, or pressure to just do things in a way that makes it easier for you to complete it without necessarily doing the right job. But let me just speak generally. If I cannot get a response to what type of pressure you're talking about here, is that academic pressure, and also okay, fine. Yeah, so law as a course is very bulky. I've already addressed that when I started that, for example, a lot of assignments be given to you, endless cases to read. Number one, you have to be very determined if this is what you want to do. My interaction with law students over the years, some will tell you that my dad asked me to go and study law, that's why I'm doing it. Some will tell you that it's my family precedent to always study law, that's why I'm doing it. After I finish studying law, I don't want to practice law. But my discussion today will be for those who actually want to practice law. If this is what you want to do, okay, then be determined, be informed right from the beginning that it will demand your time. You need just to adjust to make sure that you are able to meet up. No doubt about the fact that when I was also in the universities, I have a couple of friends who also lost out, meaning that they did not finish the program because of the pressure. But you need to prepare yourself mentally, psychologically, that this is what you want to do. And if you are passionate to become a lawyer, that should be the drive, particularly when there are pressures here and there. And this, already seeing yourself, creating a mental picture that you are going to see yourself addressing the court alone, should also motivate you to manage it very well. And you may also want to engage with a senior colleague of yours in your school who are also doing very well, to share their experiences with them, because the pressure are different. It's not always unilateral in every institution. So this is very, very important. Engage with people who have experience, who are doing well, who have undergone all the challenges you face, and they might be of help to you.
Thank you very much. Looking at the chat box, I can see Professor Joseph Nwazi from Igbinedion University, Okada, said the lecture was very impressive, educative, inspiring, and instructive. Thank you very much. I can also see other questions like, how can we volunteer? What's the best way to build negotiation skills? And so on. Let's go to live first, and then we'll come back to, so Enugu, I know you have a couple of teaching lawyers there. Yes, can you unmute yourself before we go to Maiduguri? Go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. My question is, what are the global issues or challenges you think lawyers and law students can play pivotal roles in resolving? Then the second question.
Good morning, sir. Thank you so much for the lecture this morning. My question is, given from the rational conjectures you've made this morning, it's essentially the fact that the legal profession cuts across every aspect of human enterprise. So now, passionate about the law, passionate about the military, because you gave instances whereby the law cuts across all these of all these human enterprise. So now, in this circumstance, maybe passionate about the law, passionate about the military, for instance, how does the knowledge of the law, you know, how does it amplify, or what is the benefit? What is that advantage you have to being in the military, having the knowledge of the law? Thank you.
Then the third question, sir.
Sorry, I didn't get the second question very well. I didn't get the question.
Hold on. The second question, please come back. The second question, let the second person come. Yes, towards the tail end, there was this glitch from your hand. Can you guys summarize your question? The one for the military.
Yes, I'm asking basically, like, having understood that the legal profession cuts across all of human enterprise. So I want to know now, what is the advantage that the knowledge of the law has to do with the military? Because we know that the military has its mode of operation. They have the martial courts, martial judges, the martial law, and the whole of that. So what's the advantage? What is this advantage that a law student or a legal profession practitioner has when he has the intention to venture into the military? I hope I'm understood now.
Thank you very much. Please, Enugu people, please hold on. Let him take the two first. I know you are all lawyers there, lawyers to be. We have so many other questions. Let's take it one by one. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me first acknowledge and appreciate the prof from USinNigeria University, Okada, for your kind remarks. And let me also tell you that we currently have a student in our office here who is undergoing his internship in our law office. So thank you for training him and sending him to the law firm here in Lagos. So law students can play their roles. I mentioned to you that at a point in time when I was undergraduate in the University of Lagos, I did a research after finishing my, I think that should be the second or third year academic session. And I did a report. And the report was basically on the Millennium Development Goals, obstacles and ways of tackling them. And I sent them to the United Nations Secretary General, Mr. Ban Ki-moon, because as at that time, MDGs was to end in 2015, and I realized that not all member states of the United Nations was on the same pace to achieving the so-called Millennium Development Goals. And I proposed that it should probably change to another subject matter and move forward. And that was partially, or should I say partially, actually interpreted in what we have as SDGs today. So this is just one thing that a law student or a student can do. You think of a problem, whether in your community, whether in your country, at a global stage, and make your own inputs. I mentioned that at a point in time, there were a lot of bills before the National Assembly. I did a research and I discovered an ambiguity in one of the provisions of that bill. And I called the attention of the National Assembly to it because that ambiguity posed a danger to the press as an institution. And it became a national debate. And by the time the bill will be passed into law, there was correction. So in our space, it could even be in your community. You discover maybe there are prisoners, a lot of people on awaiting trials. Students can do investigation and carry out research on this. And even though if you are unable to go to court to start representing them, your report alone can be submitted maybe to the legal aids, maybe to a law firm in your environment that can take this up. So there are different areas where law students can also contribute to issues. Yes, having been a lawyer going to the military, then I will jump up and say, bravo, because the rules of engagement, the activities of the militaries are created by law. And in fact, the challenge globally now is carrying out of the activities of the military officers vis-a-vis or in compliance with the law. This is a challenge globally, and that's why we're having international instruments. You'll be hearing about Geneva Conventions that talks about rules of engagement. So you must have heard that when even the military are fighting the terrorists, and the next thing you see is the abuse of human rights. Human rights at the national level, but when you are talking about at the when we are talking about human rights, you are talking about a breach of law. But when you are talking about international humanitarian law, this is where we have international humanitarian crises where troops are always deployed to solve the problem. And most times you will see that everywhere, not only in Nigeria, there is always accusation of a breach of rights by troops that are deployed to solve problems. So there is a serious issue on how troops or military officers will be able to carry out their work in compliance with the local and international law. So if we have lawyers, particularly lawyers in the military, we have them, but more lawyers in the military will also help to resolve this challenge.
Yes, sir. Let's go to Maiduguri and then Benin City.
Yes, sir. I have two questions, but my first question is, what are those factors or things to be considered before going to private practice and starting a law firm? And then secondly, how can you sustain your flow of income in the sense that there are sometimes that cases might not be coming in. So within that period of time now, how can you stay put? How can you sustain your income? Those are my questions, sir.
Over to you, sir.
Okay, so before having your own private law firm, what are those things you need to know or you have? Number one, you must make sure that you already have the necessary training, the necessary expertise, competence before you can start your law firm. I've heard that people are just called to bar today and they are starting their law firm the following day. So the question is, where do you gather your experience? How did you acquire the necessary training and experience required? That I can cite a provision of the law is not what makes you a lawyer. Ability to be able to apply it in reality. You will see a lot of people, they will make first class at the universities and they go to law school, they make first class. By the time they start law practice in proper, they first struggle. Our role is to help you and make sure that you have the required experience. If you don't have the experience and you want to start practice immediately, that means you will be experimenting, you'll be learning on the job, and it will be very disastrous if you are using cases of people that required expertise to perform, to give them the deliverables they need as what you are using as a guinea pig or experiment to acquire experience. In fact, the moment you start doing that and you are not doing things right, and your client are already citing mistakes you are making, or in your processes they are the one identified that you've not done it well, it will be difficult for people to come back to you. So experience is very, very important. Your second question, sustaining income. Is your experience and expertise that will make people to come to you and for your, for you to be able to sustain your income, to sustain the running of the firm. If you are not doing well, that's why I mentioned some of all these skills, okay? Because in law practice, we don't advertise. I can't go to the national television and play jingles and advertisements. So what promotes the work of a lawyer, what makes lawyer popular is the experience, the expertise, the skills that you have. When you are recording emphatic success for people, people also want to talk about you. And if people need one lawyer or the other in a particular thematic area that you major on, somebody can easily say, oh, that lawyer will do a better job for you. Okay? So, and if you now want me to start talking about running of the firm and the expenditure, the income is another subject entirely that will take us a whole day. Okay? So this is what managing partners of firm do. You must have heard that some law firms, they have managing partners. It's about administrative running of the firm and other things that you've asked for. But this could be a discussion for another day.
Thank you very much. Let's go ahead to Benin City now. Please unmute yourself. Then we go to Oka.
All right, good morning, sir. Thank you for that powerful presentation. So I have about 3 questions here.
Please make it
My
one,
I'll try.
because
Okay,
many
so
people have questions.
my very first question is, I'm not a lawyer and I'm not into law, but I run a startup. So the first question is, how can startups get pro bono lawyers to stand up for them at some point, right, in their journey, and also be able to guide them? Because as a startup, you do not have all the financing, right? So how do you get a pro bono lawyer? Because at that point, you can't actually afford a lawyer, right? How do you get pro bono lawyers to actually guide you so that the job becomes easier for you as a startup?
That's a very interesting question.
Can I ask my second one, please? Okay, so there's another thing happening in the country where a lot of people do not know about the law. All right, there's a very high level of illiteracy around the laws of the country. So how do we increase that odd? How do we help people become more aware? Because one of the issue is the new tax policy right now. A lot of people do not even know what is going on until probably next year. It becomes drama, and
Okay,
everybody begins to rush. So please. And
that's
lastly, how
okay.
do we
No, that's okay. Yes, over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. So, startup pro bono. Let me tell you, for example, as a law firm here, we do pro bono cases, okay? But we only do pro bono cases on human rights related issues. But you are into business. You need legal services. You don't have the money. How do you want to survive? Fine. Let me give you the gist. All you just have to do is identify a law firm that has the expertise to be of help to you. Pitch your business idea to them, okay? Make sure that you've done your homework. Don't start pitching where they will be finding holes or that will make you look like you don't even know what you are saying. Then propose to them, okay? Propose retainership. Propose that you are willing, whatever you get at the end of the year as profits, you can give to them, okay? This is how law firm, many law firms may want to consider if they see future in what you are trying to do. But for you to work to a law firm, you want a startup business where you'll be making money at the end of the day, and you say you want it done pro bono, nobody will take you serious. So you can have a kind of a partnership where you say, this is what I want to do. Make sure that you've done your job very well. Pitch the deliverables, pitch what they stand to benefit. You may have a retainer relationship with them, okay? Then another one on the law awareness. So awareness of law is for everybody. I just mentioned to you that US consulate partnered with us on 2 different occasions. What we did was to simplify laws in the mode of mobile app so that people can access them, okay? So that's just one project as an individual, okay? Then as a law firm, you just mentioned tax law. Law students, make sure you follow top law firms on the social media platforms. Social media platforms should not just be about fun, about just music alone. So this tax policy that you've been talking about, in the last 1 month, you will see every Monday, the law firm, our law firm, we have what we call Do You Know? Okay, is a segment. All what we've been talking about is this tax laws that have been passed by the president in June this year that will come to force as from January. So what individual and businesses should know is a tip. We are creating awareness. So we don't need to charge you. You don't need to come to our office before you know about this, because we are preparing people ready for next year so that they don't just caught unaware. So these are ways individual, corporate entity, organizations can create awareness. Make sure, don't see social media platform as just a platform to get about gist, to know who abused another today, or those who are fighting another, all those things that usually trend. As a law student, follow all these law firms. Make sure you follow them on LinkedIn platform, on all the social media platform where you see law firm who usually create awareness and share information that can educate and empower people.
Thank you very much. Let's go to Oka now. Oka, please unmute yourself. Then we'll go to Uyo. Then Iris Tandu. then it will be your turn. Let's be quick, please.
Okay, good morning, sir. Thanks for the teaching offer. My question is just one, sir. I just want to know how I can create a strong network or linkage in my area of specialization, that is education.
Over to you, sir. Networking.
So I'm trying to.
What are the ways to create networking? How can he network in his own area?
Okay,
Which is
so
education. So networking tips.
yeah, so not even in education, in all practice areas, one is networking. So because we all understand the importance of networking, it's create awareness about what one is doing, and a lot of benefit comes when people get to know about what you are doing. So depending on individual, for example, for me to come on this platform, an invitation is to network because I'm getting to meet a lot of people. I've heard about a prof from Adeola University who just made a comment. I may ask one of my interns that you are monitoring, I want to do a research on something. Please tell me much about prof. Okay, so networking starts from having to meet people, having to interact and interface. So it can be in form of you even starting your social media platform, for example. Okay, what do you do in the education sector, having a social media platform where you do this? It can also just be by organizing a seminar where you bring people together and you interface with them. It could also be by writing proposals to have collaborative joint work with stakeholders in your own areas of specialization. It could also be by joining professional bodies where you belong in your own area. For example, I'm a member of Nigerian Bar Association, Lagos branch, and that has also afforded me opportunities to meet with a lot of my colleagues in this my profession. So I've registered to join different organizations, volunteer with them, and this is where I have my contact. Okay, for example, like our law firm, we usually have annual national essay competition where we share over ₦1 million among law students who come first, second, and third every year. Okay, and some of all these students who have made the best 10, we'll usually shortlist them and ask them to have internship with us. That's also part of network. So there is no one way to network. There are different ways. It's all about identifying your targets, creating activities around it to interface with them.
All right, quickly, Uyo, please unmute yourself. Mr. Adeola, I think we need to take some of the questions down so that we can cover a lot. We have so many questions. We've never had it so serious like this. It's a big problem now. We have about 63 who are hooked online. We've not had it for a long time like this. So Huyo, so please take those questions down. We take like 4 of them, and then you can answer them at a go. Yes, Huyo, go ahead.
All right, sir. I'm not a law student, but there is a particular issue here that I would like you to please enlighten me. You mentioned that in the law profession, there are specializations. There are lawyers that specialize in maybe oil and gas, some others, education, and some other fields. Now, if I am a client, is it advisable for me to, if I have a case in maybe oil and gas, to go and pick a lawyer that specializes in a different field to stand in for me? Or should I look for the one that specializes in that oil and gas, and then maybe you use that one to stand in for me in the case? Then this for the law students. Can you advise a law student to specialize in more than 2 fields? Is it proper for a law student to specialize in more than 2 fields?
Iris Tando.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Iris Ayutandi, and I'm a final year law student from American Corner, Calabar. And my question is, with the growth of technological tools like AI and other related tools, are the jobs of lawyers are they in risk of being replaced? And my second question is that, as a law student, how can we properly position ourselves to be considered for internship opportunities with top law firms?
Thank you very much. We go to Calabar now. Calabar, please unmute yourself quickly, and then Oshogo. Calabar.
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Gabriel Udo. My question is, as a person who is already in a totally different area of study, can one also add law as another area of study, maybe passively? And also, what are the odds or possibility of succeeding in both areas side by side?
Thank you very much. Finally, let's go to Oshogo. Oshogo, unmute yourself, please.
All right, good morning, sir. My name is Israel. I just want to ask, so you mentioned something about AI when you were talking. So I just want to know if you can just expatiate more on what you have done with AI in this your sphere, and also some of the tools that you have used and that you have explored in this maybe in this your space. Thank you so much, sir.
Over to you, sir.
Loaded questions. Okay, so let me start from Akwa Ibom. Specialization. He wants to know whether if he's having a matter related to oil and gas, whether I can get any other lawyer. So why do we have different practice areas in law? It's simply because of the technicalities involved in this different sector. So, for example, if I'm down and I need medical attention, and the medical attention required that a neurosurgeon attend to me, I will not want a gynecologist to do that for me. So, meaning that if there is a thematic area or a subject matter I want to address, I would rather go for an expert in that area who specialize in that area to do that for me. Then you ask again that law students' area of specializations. So let me let you understand that it's difficult to, in fact, no professional will tell a law student at this stage that this is areas I want you to specialize on. Just go and finish with your studies at the university, go to the law school. Our practice at Adeola Oyinlade Co law firm is we bring them afresh. So we rotate you. You can work with the corporate and commercial law department in the first year. You work with the litigation team. We expose you to all different practice groups we have in the law firm. Okay. After a year, we have the practice admin, the head of your team, we interface with you. They want to know areas where you feel more comfortable. Okay. So at the end of the day, the area you feel more comfortable, we will not even be the one to tell you. We'll be the one to start telling us, I think I'm good to go in this area. I think I found this more interesting, or I think I will survive in this practice area. That's how lawyers will choose their areas of practice. It's for us to start saying, no, this is what I want you to be, or I want you to major in IP at this stage. That will not be correct. So somebody asked about AI tool and the risk. Yes. AI is to crawl all informations available and give you response. You are supposed to be the one to control AI, not AI controlling you, because you are the one who wants AI to respond to your needs. So you need to filter what AI is giving you, okay, and make sure after filtering it, that what AI, and make sure that what AI has supplied to you is actually what you need. It will interest you to know that we are taking up a matter, and in that matter we file our court process, and the other party in that matter is a very big institution that you know, and the institution had to hire a lawyer, and when the lawyer will respond, and the lawyer started citing laws that do not apply in Nigeria, started citing provisions of the law. For us, the moment we saw the process and were able to identify about 5, 6 different flaws, we knew the person relied on AI. So AI is good, but you need to be in control. You don't just take what AI is giving you, hook, line, and sinker. You need to make sure that you filter, you check very well to make sure that they're applicable. Even if the AI is citing a particular law, make sure you go and verify. Don't just use it like that, because AI may crawl into other jurisdiction and start also giving you answers of what does not apply in your country. And internship opportunities, yes, like I rightly mentioned in the course of my lecture, I mentioned that it's very important for you to look for top law firms in the country. Make sure you may not know when they are giving opportunities for internship. Just make sure that you follow them on the social media platform. If I were you, I will start after this webinar and go and write probably about 5 or 10 law firms, top law firms in the country, or law firms in my area. And why I also mentioned in the country is that we do virtual internship now. There are a lot of students in the northern part of the country, eastern part of the country. They don't necessarily have to come here. So we have what we call virtual internship. And just follow them on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and the moment they start calling for open calls, making open calls for people to apply for internship, you can take advantage of such opportunities. Another one, yes, somebody mentioned that being in a particular profession and hard law to eat. Then I asked myself that even in law, people are also trying to even major in some areas, not in all areas. So I doubt how you'll be able to be an expert in one field and you want to also add law practice to it. That would be very complex. I have to be very honest with you. I would rather advise just to be on top of what you are doing. Choose an area that you think you can give in your best, or that motivates you, or that you enjoy doing. For example, I used to be a radio personality. I like media, but I'd wanted to study law all my life. So the moment the opportunity to start practicing law came, so I did not continue to merge both law and radio presentation together. So the next thing I did is just to sign out with radio presentation and focus on law, because putting the two together will not help me a lot. So this is what I have to say. Just make sure you choose one and put your energy, the time, resources, and everything into it so that you can be on top of it. Then the last one, the use of AI. Somebody wants to know the AI that we use. That will amount to doing the publicity and advertisement on this platform. So there are plethoras of apps out there that you can use either for research and so on and so forth. But like I just want to tell you is that make sure you use it wisely, in the way that you don't rely entirely on what internet is giving you. You need to make sure that it applies to your needs. Make sure that you're on top of the way you control the AI. Let's be in the control. Don't let AI control you. Thank you.
Okay. In actual fact, we have overshot our time, but we plead with you to give us just a few more minutes to answer these questions. I would like you to please note some of these questions, sir. Number one, what is the best way to build negotiation skills? By Money Felicia. How can we volunteer for international organizations? By Nwanko Joy. T says, what qualifications do we need as undergraduates looking for internship opportunities in the future? Another one, what tech skills should I learn as a law student?
Sorry?
What tech skills should I learn as a law student? As a young lawyer, what do you do when your area of passion isn't paying you, but you find profitable opportunities in other areas of law that you are not passionate about? Another one, as a young lawyer interested in human rights and international law, how do you find international opportunities? I think that's, please explain the work of a lawyer as a power of attorney in relation to, I think these are all there was the name of the legal app, okay? How do I decide where to build my expert? I think you've dealt with that. Another one from Igbinedion University. With the rise of tech and social media, how should law enforcement adapt to maintain law and order without infringing on constitutional freedoms? Okay, some people are asking of your LinkedIn details. I've put them out already. How can we connect with you personally? Please check the LinkedIn profiles we have posted. Okay, I think there are so many. I think please join him on a social media platform, and then he will be able to answer all other questions. So Adeola, please, as many as you can answer in the next 5 minutes or 7 minutes, then we'll be able to wrap up.
Okay, so thank you very much for the questions. I'm happy that we're getting this feedback. It shows that efforts the American space is putting into this is yielding positive results. So I'm happy to share this time with you. So negotiation skills, like I mentioned to you, you need to formally get certification and trained. So you may have the natural, the raw talent. So somebody needs to refine it for you. So you need to register for some professional courses where you have proper training. Even myself, who is talking to you here, despite being a lawyer, so I had to go and register with Nigerian Institute of Charter Arbitration to make sure that I get certified as a professional arbitrator. So you need to do some other courses, certification courses, and undergo a lot of trainings in order for your skills to be well prepared for the task ahead. So on that, how to volunteer for international organizations. Yeah, you need to be, thank God for for media, new media. Where you can follow some of all these organizations on their platform. So there are a lot of opportunities platform. I think we also launch opportunity for lawyers and law students at a point in time where opportunities in terms of internship, contest, essay competition, internship, and so on and so forth is always available. So please follow all these organizations of your choice. So internship qualifications, there are no qualifications other than you being a law student. So the moment you are a law student, you are qualified to apply for internship at any law firm, anywhere in the country. But just make sure that if it's a virtual internship, you can take advantage of joining any law firm anywhere in the country. And if that you don't have the opportunity, look for any law firm closer to you. You need not come to Lagos if you are not based in Lagos. Because for those that we usually accept, first thing the practice administrator we ask them is, where do you live? We don't want you to come to our office tired and you already worn out, so nothing for you to learn before. And maybe you know how Lagos traffic is, so we don't want you to suffer just because you want to learn from us. Tech skills for lawyers. Well, we do not need extreme tech skills. Just basic knowledge of tech is very important because you have to make use of computer to do your work. You must know how to log in. You must know how to fill in details on the different platforms. You must know how to file. You must know how to jump on virtual meetings from time to time. You must know about all platforms where people do all these meetings. So you don't say, because we have a lot of lawyers, if you even just a Zoom meeting alone, they don't even have Zoom application on their phones or on their gadgets. So these are a lot of issues. So you must know the basic, okay? Because you are not actually going into tech-related services. You are not building app. So just know the basic. So with the basic, you'll be able to do your job, making use of tech tools required to do your job. Somebody says, okay, if the area where you are passionate is not juicy, it's not paying you money, and the other one is paying you money, then I ask, what area of law is not paying? So there is no area of law that is not paying. Yes, you must have heard some people telling you that this particular area is juicy, this other one is not paying, but I disagree, because for litigations here in the firm, we already have our what we call schedule of fees. And if it's any other area, we already have our schedule of fees. So it's for you to pay us for the expertise we are bringing on board. It's you that you will value yourself and value what you tell people what you are offering or putting on the table for them. And if they value it, they will pay for it. So there is this belief that there is a practice area that is booming, that is not booming. Because even if you are talking about oil and gas, if it's a corporate law services you want to do, it's almost the same thing they will charge you if you're also attending to somebody in the shipping. It's almost the same thing if you are just setting up a company. Company registration, for example, in all areas. It depends on you. Who charges more is the person who has the expertise that the client is craving for. Okay? So the belief that in this area is money is not there. I'm speaking from experience now. I'm not just saying, giving you hearsay, because this is a full service law firm. So we have different departments of the firm, and I see what is coming into the firm. So that's that. How to find international opportunities. Please, there are a lot of platforms that shared opportunities. Please make sure you follow them. Let me see what this one, legal, I don't really know. Okay, so infringement of rights. Yes, infringement of rights is a challenge everywhere in the world. So it's not synonymous with Nigeria. And when you see police violate people's rights, it's a global challenge, it's a global phenomenon. And all of us, what we can do is to start creating awareness by all of us. Or when you see that people's rights are violated, you, the onlooker, can as well help in creating awareness, in reporting. Reach out to lawyers who carry out, activists who promote human rights. They can also create awareness about it. Awareness alone is even making the authorities to do the right thing, because they don't like being called out. Okay, and reporting to lawyers very close to you can as well be of help to take up human rights related issues. So you ask for my page. I would rather advise you follow the law firm's page rather than me personally, because to be very honest, I'm always very busy. 12, 13, 15 hours at times I'm working in a day. And what you need will actually come from the firm, because the firm has a platform. Just search for Adeola Oyinlade Co. Just Adeola Oyinlade Co. Whether on LinkedIn, whether on Twitter, whether on Instagram, and on Facebook, we're on this platform. So informations, opportunities we share on those platforms. They can't share it on my platform because we have a department that handles media. Okay, so in the law firm that share this occasionally, that we benefit to. Just search for Adeola Oyinlade Co. So with this, you get to see a lot of opportunities from us, and so on and so forth. That's will go a long way shaping your future and career in law practice.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Can we put hands together? Resounding applause for Mr. Adeola Oyinlade. You all agree with me that today has been a very meaningful session, a very meaningful time. And like I mentioned, the number of people who joined us today, we've not had it in a while. So thank you very much. That means the topic is popular, and we can see quite a lot of law students have joined us, and we really appreciate all of you. So, Mr. Adeola, thank you very much. Do you have any last word, as we say, anything you want to say, just in summary?
Okay, my amiable prof, like I usually refer to you, thanks so much. for the opportunity to connect with my constituency. I refer to them as my constituency. And I'm so happy that they came out, like numbers for this meeting. So my belief is that I've been able to say one or two things that will help you take your decisions, particularly in your law career or practice. I just want you to know that the world is relying on we lawyers to use our knowledge of law as a tools of social engineering and problem solving. So please start seeing yourself as a problem solver by now. And by the time you are called to bar, don't use your knowledge to swindle the society, but rather to solve problems. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much. We're very grateful. And for everyone, thank you for joining us. In particular, we appreciate all the directors and all those who have helped one way or the other to make this program a success. Tomorrow, remember, we're concluding our youth development program, and that session is loaded. Please don't miss it. Even if you have not attended anyone before, tomorrow, 1:30, let's be there. We have a lot in stock for you. So thank you very much, Mr. Adeola. Thank you also. We appreciate you. Have a wonderful day, and bye-bye for now.